What is up, people? It's What's Up, Flobo, episode number 179, I think. Hitting that 180 mark with the quickness. Thank you so much for checking out this episode and all the other episodes in What's Up, Flobo Canon. Before I get into today's episode, just gotta say, thank you so much for supporting the homie. Many ways to do that, especially the one we're gonna talk about today. But if you want to unlock bonus content, hit up the Patreon, patreon.com/FloboBoyce. We call it the Boisterous Crew. That's what we have these video interviews, these special shows like Flopito's Book Club. It's worth a skim and more. Hit it up, patreon.com/FloboBoyce. And you can buy yourself a t-shirt or a mug or a sweater over at flopito.threadless.com. The Flopito shop, new designs are there often. I think we do one every 4 or 5 months or something like that. So make sure to check out that at flopito.threadless.com. So typically I record What's Up Flobos almost live on Wednesday mornings. I do it offline. I upload it the same day. But it's Tuesday afternoon. And the reason why I'm doing it now for tomorrow is that my book, Graduation Day, has now been released out into the world. Graduation Day, had to go look this up. My 7th book, 8th overall, if you count the Anticipation anthology, by yours truly. And it was interesting to see it out. It's out in the world now. It's able to be seen. You can download it now for on ebook. The ebook version. You can buy the paperback version. It's on Amazon. It was a process I started way back in October of last year, the tail end, quote unquote, of the pandemic, and being able to put that over the finish line means a lot. If you're a member of the Boisterous Crew, the Patreon page, you got access about 5 days earlier before everyone else. So another reason to be in the crew there. It was one of my excuses as to why I wasn't working on comedy, but now that's done. Now it's back to working on comedy. I just want to give you a bit more of a reaction going forward of the first day. So I used to be an avid writer, and I kind of fell into it. I moved to Southern California to be an editor. I wanted to be like Cutmaster Brown. Drinking my iced coffee. I wanted to be Cutmaster Brown, which is one of the editors that Spike Lee works with. And in film school, a lot of times you were basically classified by your emphasis. And since I was an editor, a lot of their directing students didn't want to make movies written by non-writing students. And so my first couple of scripts were just ideas I wanted to get done. And the scripts that didn't get made, it became my first short stories. And that became By the Ounce and Other Tales. By the Ounce and the Other Tales cost me about $2,000 to get done. Because I didn't know anything. No one really wanted to tell me any kind of information about how to self-publish. I was fighting blind. I basically went through a vanity press, paid them for all the bells and whistles for their advertising packages that didn't go anywhere. But that put me back $2,000. The sequel to that, Mass Transit, and in fact, By the Ounce and Mass Transit are very similar in that it's half a book of short stories and the other half of poetry. I thought was a lot more ambitious, a lot more mature of a project. That one cost me about $1,300 to get off the ground. And the response was good, but the sales and the buzz wasn't as much. And I said, as I kept writing, the response was getting worse and worse. And so, and this is why I'm telling you this now, because I'm not, you can download all these stuff there on Amazon. I hit my nadir as a writer with Pay the Vig. Pay the Vig was supposed to be my sprawling crime epic neo-western, the sequel to High Desert Run in the setting of Vegas with many different intertwined stories. Didn't work for me the way I wanted it. A lot of the characters were rushed, didn't really know how to end it. That was the story that I mentioned a couple weeks ago that my mom had read, and for years, almost like 5 or 6, she would say, that book that wasn't written very well. I didn't know why you released it. And not just, it broke me, man. And because I did that, I released it for $2 and nobody bought it. And perhaps embarrassingly, the first version of that book was the editor's noted version. So like I upload this book, it has like all like the tracking changes, markings all over the report. And so that was kind of an embarrassing thing for me. It took me 2 years to write that one as opposed to 6 weeks of my first novella. The response wasn't there. I went, what am I doing this for? And I just got gun shy. I have things I want to write, but I would just say, that was me a long time ago. And what happened with that is people who remember the first book, or at least remember my enthusiasm with the first book or first two books, kept asking about it. Hey, when's the next book coming? When's the next book coming? Or someone would see an old poem that I wrote on a weird writing site and go, what do you have more? Or I would upload some things to my social media. Or someone from high school who bought By the Ounce would forward me a picture and say, what's the next one? Or the comic book fans who read Silver Streak or read Legacy, of the graphic novels I wrote, would say, hey, are you doing any more writing? And it really came down to, one, the pandemic, but working with JLJ Media, who was a big fan of the show, being asked to write, first being asked what story ideas with some of the projects. I'm not going to take credit. It's all him, but sometimes he'll say, what do you think? And I go, well, how about this? And that led to me writing some scripts for shows. Again, not taking credit. All the shows are his. Check it out. JLJ Media, friends of the show, James Lott Jr. And that kind of stoked the fire of getting back into it. When people were asking me, hey, look, you're a comedian / this, you have author there, but when's the last book you wrote? And I was like, wow, it's becoming pretty long in the tooth. So all that was a perfect storm. Was being afraid of trying something in the fiction space, not believing my ability as a writer, understanding I wanted to get something current in the writing side, and then just deciding, hey, look, write what you read nonfiction, write a nonfiction book. And now my first memoir, Graduation Day, is available now. And the response was great. It's the first time I did a pre-order for any of my work. Definitely the biggest number one day interaction on social media. I'm not sure what that means for sales quite yet. But yeah, it was a fun thing to see. In fact, one of my friends actually came over to the house, and what she did, she bought a pack of cookies and a pack of coffee and put the logo of the book on it. It was like a launch party kind of celebratory snack and beverage. I thought it was pretty cool. A nice gesture. If you're cool enough to be in my private Instagram account at Flobo Boyce, I actually posted it there. It felt different today. It really felt different to have it done in a way where I'm satisfied. Now, is everything perfect? Probably not. I read that thing 7 times. I had an editor go through it. I had my mom go through it. I had my brother go through it. I'm sure there's still going to be some errors in there. I lie awake thinking that someone's going to see a typo and I'm the worst. But I know 2 things. 1, think of it as being handcrafted. And 2, I've read plenty of books that have the audacity of being on that Amazon store, which are absolutely horrendous. So as long as you can read it, then I think it's mission accomplished. And I think it's a lot better than Pay the Vig, which is still available on Amazon if you want to go on a spending spree of my stuff. The stories in the book I love. These are things that I tell people at parties. I hope that reading them collectively will get you a better idea of who I am as a person, or at least my adult life. If you're just clamoring for more stuff, sequels, or what have you, let me know. I'm not sure how often I'll get the chance to write, or I should make that part of my content strategy diet. Should I do more short stories and publish those? Should I have a book out every year? That stuff I'll get to later. But it was just fun to say. So I want to give you guys my immediate reaction the day of. It's 5:30 local time, so it was out for about 18 hours or so. So it was interesting. Definitely was interesting to be part of it. I wrote it, but just to see the reaction, the support on social media from my friends, the DMs about this being released. Now, I know there's authors out there with plenty of more books than I do, or New York Times bestsellers, of which I am neither. But today was just fun to watch. Let me know what you think. If you actually read the book or actually download either of the books or any of the books on Amazon. We're talking By the Ounce, Other Tales, Mass Transit, The Indelible Silver Streak, Legacy, The Anticipation Anthology, this one here, Graduation Day, or even Pay the Vig and High Desert Run. Put some reviews up there for sure, but let me know in the comments below thoughts about my writing, thoughts about the stories and the fictional ones, thoughts about the anecdotes in the nonfiction one in graduation day. I would love to hear all of it. That does it for me. I'll see you guys next week. Make sure you check out the website, flobito.com, FLOBITO.com, and newamsterdam.com, KNEW, Amsterdam.com. That's where you want to go to see more information about the shows that I own and I run. But until next time, be nice and call your mother, will you?